You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so don't build your business without one. This is Mindset Monday, where we lay out the tools, frameworks, and mindset you need to scale your contracting or trading business today. All right. Welcome back to Mindset Monday. Here we are in the new year. I got to adjust all my stuff here, get it all set up right. But we are in the new year. Isn't that crazy and exciting all at the same time? We are in 2026. I start to ask myself, well, what happened with 2025? I don't know, but whatever happened with it, it's gone, right? It's interesting though. Most of us spend New Year's Eve in one of two camps. We're either going out and getting crazy and trying to remember what happened, or if you're like me, you celebrate and it's usually 10:30 or 11, you shoot off some fireworks and then you go to bed. That's the stage that I've gotten into. I love my kids to pieces. They're all adults now between the ages of 24 and 20. And I'm just like, hey, let's eat, let's have a good time. But if you guys want to go do whatever, go do whatever. I'm going to bed. So if you guys are here, you know what the deal is. Give us your name and your business name, where you're from, and we'll give you the good old shout out. Matt Beckel giving us the Happy New Year from Beckel Electric. Welcome to the show, my friend. We got James Gutierrez. Happy holidays. Welcome to you as well. Now, this funny thing happens in January, right? So after quote unquote New Year's, and it was kind of a weird year in that New Year's Eve was on a Wednesday, New Year's on a Thursday, like middle of the week thing. So you had a few days before you went back to quote unquote work to try and figure this thing out, right? But what happens is we wake up on New Year's and we all start to think, what do I do now? Right? Like it's a new year. And we all start to freak out, right? So then we grab our computer, we grab our phone, or we grab, a pen and a paper, and we're like, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to do? What do I want to do with my business? What do I do with my life? And then we all start to scribble stuff down, right? And we're like, all right, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Yeah. I'm going to make $1 million extra. Yeah. Right. We're writing all this stuff down. And then we get tired of writing. So then we go to our phone and we go to Instagram, right? We're on Instagram. We're scrolling through and there's the videos like new year, new you, the old you must die, right? And all these motivational things. And we get all riled up and we get all excited. And then nothing happens. Nothing happens. And you're like, wait a minute. I still look the same that I looked last January. In fact, I probably weigh more than I did last January, right? So what happens? What happened? Your business doesn't grow, or doesn't seem like it does. Physically, you don't feel or look any better. In fact, Monster probably sent you a 5% off coupon because you buy so much from them. Your team doesn't look any better. You still have no clue what you're doing when it comes to marketing. And somehow you want to expect things to be better this year because a date on a calendar changed. That's it. The day on the calendar changed. And now all of a sudden it's a new year. And in your mind, somehow you've quote unquote reset things to where new year, new me. And nothing ever changes, right? Which is funny. I was thinking what am I going to title today's training? New year, now what? New year, but now what, right? And this is the point that we all get stuck. We all get stuck as humans. We all get stuck as contractors. By the way, if you're here with us, go ahead and drop your name and your business name. We'll give you the good old New Year's shout out. So now what, right? New year. Now, I'm not opposed to the new year. In fact, I really, really enjoy the new year because it should be a reset. And we need those resets periodically in our lives to help us get rid of the dead weight, get rid of the old stuff, the things that were holding us back, and really start to focus on what's in front of us. Really start to focus on the opportunities that are in front of us. Really start to focus on our mindset around what we could make and could do with our lives, right? That's what this whole game is about. We got Nathan says, hi, what's up, Nathan? We got Shania Wayman with Watco Enterprises. Hello, Shania. Carter with Henry's Heating and Air. Hello, my friend. And we got Jesse from Jesse James Outlaw Electrical. Yeehaw. Welcome to the show. So what do we do, right? It's January. Now, if you've been around me for any period of time, what do I do every quarter? I focus on planning. And it sounds lame and it sounds dumb. Listen, I used to be in that same boat. I was like, oh, here we are again, planning. Why? Why do we have to plan? Why do we have to try and get things together? Why? Why is this so important? I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. You know when it was that I had that mindset? When I was an employee. That was it. Full transparency and honesty. I hated planning. Hated it. We got Michael Babbitt with BMF Services out of Charlevoix, Michigan. Fence contractor, welcome to the show. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. I hated it. But why did I hate it? I hated it because I didn't understand. I didn't understand how to connect the dots. Okay. So let me connect some dots for you. If you don't know where you're going, it's really hard to get there. If you don't know where you're going, it's really hard to get there. A lot of you guys are like, I want to make more money. Sounds great. I want to lose some weight. Awesome. I want to have a better relationship. Beautiful. I want to buy a new truck. Great. Right? But there's no plan on how to get there. And so you're like, I don't know how it's going to happen. And because you don't know how it's going to happen, you never take the steps necessary to make it happen. Period. Okay. If you remember the old Alice in Wonderland, I love the old Alice in Wonderland, right? So the cartoon version, right? She goes down the rabbit hole and she's wandering around and she's lost and she doesn't know she's on this trail. And she comes to this fork in the road. Okay. And there's a big tree in front of her. She's trying to figure out, do I go left? Do I go right? I don't know. She's starting to freak out. All of a sudden the Cheshire Cat appears. Now, why in the hell Disney had a smoking cat in a tree that disappeared? I have no idea. Maybe I never will, but that was the character, right? So this cat appears in the tree and they have a little conversation back and forth. And finally, Alice asks the cat, she's like, I need some help. Can you tell me which way to go? And he said, well, it depends. Where do you want to go? And her response was, I don't know. I don't know. And then he said, very powerful words. Well, then it doesn't matter which path you take. It doesn't matter which path you take. So a lot of you guys are trying to figure out right now, should I do more door knocking, or should I do door hangers, or should I do mailers? Should I post on social media? Should I join a BNI group? Should I go in with the Home Builders Association? Like, what should I do? Every option looks good, right? But none of them matter if you don't know where you're going. This is so important. We got Daniel. Happy Monday. Daniel Kaplan with Noble Custom and Glass and Mirror. Checking in from good old Buford, Georgia. We got Shawnee, 2 years. Or is that Shania? I don't know why I said Shawnee. She's only missed one. That's right. She has. And I appreciate you every time you guys show up. You and Isaac. Thank you for that. And we've got Ryan with Divine Decking out of Bakersfield. Welcome to the show. So if you don't know where you're going, everything looks attractive and none of it actually matters. Okay. So whether you do it with us or not, it's irrelevant. But what I want to challenge you to do is to take some time to plan things out. When I was working as a police officer, specifically on the SWAT team, there's a lot of similarities between what we were doing in the military. And there was an old Army sergeant that was part of our SWAT team. And just a gravelly voice. He smoked a cigar. Just a funny guy, right? But he just that old school mentality. I remember he taught me something that I will never forget. He said, prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I was like, wow. Like, that's a powerful statement. So think about this, okay? When you're going on vacation, what do you normally plan out? Okay, what clothes do I need? All right, what about the kids and the food? All right, are we driving or flying? If we are, what route are we taking? What time do we need to be at the airport? Where are we going to stop for gas? You got all these things planned out, right? And yet with your business, you just wake up on January 1st and you're like, all right, I'm going to make more money this year. We somehow expect that to work. And it doesn't, by the way, in case you're wondering, or still wondering why it hasn't worked. That's why. Give Joseph a good old shout out. Joseph Huckel with MJ Plumbing. Welcome, my friend. It doesn't work because it's not a plan, okay? If you're going to do anything this year, it's January 5th already, by the way. So you're 5 days in. if you're going to do anything this year, my challenge to you is to spend time planning things out. I spent the majority of the last 2 weeks restructuring my entire business model, especially on the back end. Now, why did I do that? Because what I was doing wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And so I have two options: ignore it and somehow hope and pray, please, please, please help it work better, or do something about it. Part of the planning had to do with marketing. Part of it had to do with sales. Part of it had to do with our client success. Part of it had to do with onboarding. Part of it had to do with social media. See, all of these areas, what I said is, what's the current plan? Is it working or is it not? And what do I need to do to make it better? So here I am, January 5th, already had employee reviews with all my employees, already created our new marketing plan, already in the process of hiring 2 new employees, already in the process. Well, a lot of contractors are still sitting there figuring out what they want to do this year. My challenge then for you is to take this singular thought, planning, and figure out, what do I need to do when it comes to planning? And I'd love to hear from each of you if you want to drop it in the comment. Okay. I don't want to hear just a target, just a goal, lose 20 pounds. Sounds great, but I don't just want to hear that. I want to hear the how you're going to get there. When it comes to contractors, they always fall into one of 3 buckets, right? The ones that I usually deal with. The first one, I call it the chaos tax. That's what they're paying, right? There's no organization or structure in anything that they do. And so they're paying the chaos tax. The phone rings. Oh, I'm going to answer that. Oh, email comes in. Oh, I'm going to answer that. Oh, client needs me on the job site. Oh, I'm going to go to the job site. And they're just constantly responding to their business. They're reactive, not proactive. The chaos tax. The second one is the employee tax, right? They're like, oh, I can't do this on my own. I'm going to hire somebody. But they hire their cousin or their brother or their uncle or somebody that they know that isn't the right person for the position, but because they know them, they hire them. And then they end up doing their job and the job of the person that they hired anyway. The employee tax. And the third is the profit tax, right? It's really cool to make money. We all want to make money. It's way cooler to keep money. And you're not in business, as all the people I work with know, you're not in business to make money. You're in business to keep it. And those are the 3 taxes that most contractors end up paying year over year. And so when it comes to, well, what should I do this year? Answer one of 3 questions. In fact, answer all 3, and you can simplify it down. Number 1, what am I going to do to pay less on the chaos tax this year? In other words, what's one thing that I'm going to structure, organize, get rid of, or whatever that's going to help clean things up for me? Okay. For us, it was our new client onboarding. Full transparency, for many years, it has been me customizing the thing depending on who was in front of me and when they were in front of me. That's what it was. Okay. Last month, we said, enough is enough. We're going to actually systemize this thing. And we did. We've now systemized our onboarding process. Okay. Chaos tax. One thing inside of your business that is causing chaos that you're going to systemize, optimize, or get rid of. One thing. Okay. The next thing, the employee tax. Okay. Why do you pay an employee tax? You're hiring the wrong people, or they're in the wrong position and you're unwilling to admit it. Okay. So what's one thing you're going to do this year to not pay the employee tax? Is it, I'm going to create a hiring process. By the way, in our Build Pro community online, we do have our entire process there for you, including checklists and things that you can download. Is it, I'm going to create clear roles and responsibilities for a position? Is it that I'm going to do employee performance reviews? Is it that I'm going to assign KPIs to my employees? Like, what is that thing that you're going to do when it comes to your employees so you're not paying the employee tax? Okay. Number 3, the profit tax. If I asked you today, right now, to tell me what is your gross profit margin, how many of you could tell me that number? Like that. How many? Could any of you tell me? Most contractors have no idea if they're keeping money. They know if they're making money, but not if they're keeping money. So my challenge for each of you this year, at a minimum, quit paying the profit tax. Figure out what your current gross profit margin is. And if that margin doesn't work for you, guess what you got to do? raise your prices. Raise your prices. Okay. So figure out how to quit paying the profit tax. So that's 3 things that you can do in the next week that will set you up for success in 2026 and beyond. Now, listen, you can go about this one of 2 ways. Okay. You can show up here every Monday, or you can watch the replay, which I appreciate all you being here. I do. And you can be like, man, that was really good. I really needed to hear that. And then as soon as this is over, you shut off the screen and you're on back to where you were before and nothing changes. Okay. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to take these 3 things. I'm going to schedule an hour on Wednesday afternoon from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And I'm going to make sure that I find a solution that I can implement this week. Choice is yours, right? It always is. But I'll tell you this last year, I don't want to give specific numbers, but because we're going to have our annual retreat this weekend. But this year, I will tell you that I had multiple clients double in revenue or more. And the ones that did were not the ones who were running from job to job to job. They were the ones who took the right amount of time to start to plan things out, to start to organize things, to get their people where they needed to be, clear numbers, data to push forward. And this year they'll double again because they understand the framework. They understand the formula. So my challenge for each of you today, welcome to 2026. You're already behind because we're on day 5, but you don't have to stay behind. Okay. Figure out a way to quit paying the chaos tax, or at least a portion of it, the employee tax, and the profit tax. If you can do that this week, you are setting yourself up for success. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Welcome to 2026. I'm excited to have you here. If you're not part of our Build Pro online community, you need to be a part of it. Send me an email. I'll get you a link. We'll get you added inside of there. But for now, it's time for you to quit listening to me. It's time for you guys to get after it. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.